5 NHL games going today. We're going to tell you exactly how to bet each and every one of them. I'm Lawrence Presman. You're watching The Blue Line. My co-host is the great Matthew Barnaby, 14 years in the NHL, and a handsome cat at that. Matthew, how are you, my friend?
I'm good after a chalk night. Went 6-5. Won my prop bet with Matthew Nyes, going over 1.5 shots. Beautiful day in South Florida. Can't wait to hit the links after giving our picks out.
Well, I got a golf lesson today at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm doing it in the VR, which I think is the best place to learn golf. If any of you guys are new to golf and you go to a driving range, you go to the VR. It's much better. It shows you your club path, your ball flight, your ball speed, whether you're inside out, outside in. It's going to be way more helpful than standing at the driving range. Matthew Barnaby, we got a bunch of NHL games to take apart, but I want to shout out all the people that are watching this show to date. We're getting a ton of absolutely incredible comments and reviews. Lights Out writes, my God, I'm 5 minutes in and I'm hooked. Yes, please. That is so great. We got another person. Prez, you're number one. Some guy has a crush on Matthew Barnaby, and on and on and on. Best talk show on WagerTalk. Great show. I'm reading this right off of the screen. Great show, guys. Barnaby on fire. I am new to NHL betting. The show is so informative, very helpful. Matthew, I don't know if you read these comments and reviews, but it makes my day, man. Like, you and I don't get paid to do the show. We're just doing this to have fun and enjoy talking NHL betting. That stuff means the world to me.
I liked pissing people off when I played, but I like making people, excuse me, got a little stuff in my throat here. I love making people happy. And if they're liking the show and we can give them information and listen, we're in the entertainment business, anything you do, whether it's just talking NHL, betting NHL, it's entertainment and informative. Hopefully you can make some money if you listen to our bets.
There you go. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, write reviews, or make comments. We need it all. Matthew, let's get into game one.
Yeah.
And this is a big game, an absolutely crucial game for both teams. Ultimately playing for the division here, Tampa Bay hosting Toronto. And the money is pouring in on Tampa Bay, Matthew. I've spoken to bookmakers already. It's extremely lopsided. There's general public money coming in on Tampa Bay. There's wise, smart money coming in on Tampa Bay. The Toronto Maple Leafs are now plus 155. The total in this game is 6, Matt. And, we got Stolarz in net now for Toronto, and they are on a back-to-back, which for Toronto fans sucks. Because that has to favor Tampa Bay. But Matthew, I don't know how you could bet Tampa at minus 185. You want to talk about zero value? That is it. Toronto is at least as good a team on paper in a must-win hockey game. All the value sits on the Maple Leafs. And based on what I'm hearing, you could wait to this one out and see if you could get all the way up to 160, 165. I hate that Toronto's on a back-to-back, but there is no chance in hell I'm taking Tampa Bay with that type of money.
I said before it came out that if it was 135 or below, I'm taking the Tampa Bay Lightning. The value's on the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm not touching that. Last 5 have went under for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm going under here, even on back-to-backs, though. I usually like the over, but I think this is going to be a tight scoring game, and I got to give you credit. You had Florida yesterday. I had Toronto. Carmine had Toronto as well. Tight game. But further to our point, you asked me yesterday, would Florida tank to play the Toronto Maple Leafs? They don't tank when you're a team like that. They aren't afraid of Toronto. They don't care if they play Toronto. They want to win. They want to play well going in. So credit to you for having the Florida Panthers, and credit the Florida Panthers for playing a really hard game.
Yeah, and really the biggest statement Florida made yesterday wasn't in winning the game, Matthew, because you win, you lose, you lose. It was in icing Barkov. Here was a guy that was coming off of an injury, and if Florida really did not want to play Toronto, there was just no reason for them to put him on the ice. He played well, like always, an outstanding hockey player, and that was basically a statement move by Florida. They're not tanking; they're trying to win this division just like anybody else. And they're only 4 points behind with Toronto and Tampa Bay playing against each other. And if Toronto beats Tampa Bay, like what, Florida's not going to try get home ice advantage against Tampa Bay? Come on, all you people who think that might be the case. Matthew, I love the under in this game too, and I'm glad you mentioned it. Look, normally you would think these two teams play over. It was 5-3, 5-3, 5-2, 6-4. They've gone over 6-3-1 in their last 10. But I agree with you here, Matthew. I think this is an under game. I mean, this got playoffs written all over it. The intensity is going to be unmatched on Wednesday night. And Tampa Bay started the season horribly. I mean, we honestly thought Vasilevsky might be towards the end of his career. So much for that. This Tampa Bay team, this Tampa Bay team, Matt, they've allowed one or less goal in 4 of their last 7 games. And Toronto are lights out on defense. There was an empty netter last night. Take that empty netter away. And nobody has scored more than 2 goals on Toronto in 5 straight games, in 6 out of 7. I like the under as well. And I think there's a lot of value here on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Guys, you're watching The Blue Line. This show is up at WagerTalk TV every day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We have Mark Recchi on the show tomorrow, so make sure to tune in. I mean, Hall of Famer, not just under, right? Sort of second tier. If there was like a B-class Hall of Famer, he would be one, right?
He's a Hall of Famer. There's only
he
one
is
class.
a Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer.
I know there's only one class. I just thought
There's
maybe
only one class. He's a Hall of Famer. Well,
we got a Hall of Famer on the show tomorrow, so make sure to check that out. That is exciting. That's for sure. And he won't be the last Hall of Famer on, I mean, you're watching me and I'm in the Hall of Fame of sports betting. So we already have 2 Hall of Famers. Matthew, let's turn our attention to the New York Rangers. And this team had it, lost it. Now they are done. End of story. They've put up 1 goal in their last 2 games. Let's go into the dressing room like we do on every show and talk about this New York Rangers team. They watched Montreal win again last night. This Montreal team doesn't want to lose. In the dressing room, are they discussing this? I mean, this is a team that has lost 4 of 6. They've lost 7 of their last 10. They are out of it. They need a miracle. What is going on in that dressing room, and how do we use it to our advantage?
Listen, Prez, no player in any sport, any team, believes that they're out of it until they're officially eliminated. Now, if you're 30 points back in November, you probably know that the chances are very limited and you're making your flights. But the New York Rangers players believe that they can win 4 or 5 in a row, and teams are going to go on a downslide. Now, us on the outside world are realistic. We understand they aren't making the playoffs. I haven't thought that they're going to make the playoffs for the last month, and I said that a month ago. So we know they're not making the playoffs. The way that they play shows that they aren't going to make the playoffs. They believe that they're going to win. Having said that, New York's not a good team. Philadelphia's not a good team. They haven't been able to score, but I think the Flyers, New York, there is a tremendous rivalry there. I like the over in this one because I think they're going to be free-flying, shooting pucks everywhere, and not playing a lot of defense.
Yeah, so we're on the same page here completely. Look, I'm not. There's no way I'm getting to the window on the New York Rangers at all. Minus 190 for a team that is reeling makes no sense to me. But I am like you. I like the over in this game as well. I mean, you look at the Rangers and where they just can't keep the puck out of the net. Tampa Bay put up 5. New Jersey put up 4. Minnesota put up 4. Anaheim put up 5. This team has allowed less than 3 goals one time in their last 8 games. And Philadelphia, as we've seen, it's like the shackles are off. They got 7 against Buffalo, 6 against Montreal. I know they only scored 2 in their last 2 games, 2 against Montreal, 2 against Nashville. But I agree with you, Matthew. It's 5.5. I think we're going to see a game that lacks intensity, a game that has a lot of space. I don't see a lot of Philadelphia Flyers diving in front of pucks. I, too, like the over. Let's turn our attention to Minnesota. They're minus 310 against San Jose, and Minnesota's still playing for positioning right now. I mean, are they going to play Vegas? Are they going to play Winnipeg? If you're Minnesota or St. Louis, would you have a preference which of those 2 teams you get to play?
Oh, wow. I'd probably rather play the Winnipeg Jets, even though they've been great all year and they have a great goaltender in Connor Hellebuyck. Just something about Vegas having won before, and a lot of these guys have been there before on the biggest stage and had success, whereas Winnipeg has struggled in playoff series. Hellebuyck at times has struggled in playoff series.
Yeah.
So, either team is great, and you're going to have to play a tough team. But I think they're more apt to play a style against the Winnipeg Jets that's more conducive to the Minnesota Wild. Having said that, minus 300, Minnesota, I think, wins the game. I'm not touching this game any which way. If I had to, I would take the under, but I'm a pass on this game.
Matthew, I don't have the stats in front of me, but most games San Jose they lose by more than 1 goal, and that's where I'm going in this game. You could get Minnesota minus 1.5 at minus 115. Now, I normally do not make those type of bets, but San Jose is reeling, obviously. They've lost 6 in a row. This team now is just sort of on cruise control until the season ends. Yeah. Minnesota, as you said, is going to win this game. If they're up by 1, we got at least a 40% chance at an empty net to get us that 1.5. And there is no reason they don't win this game 4 or 5-1 and not even need the empty net. I like Minnesota minus 1.5 in this game. Not a ton, though, Matthew. That's sort of just where I'm leaning. Calgary playing Anaheim tonight. And, you talk about teams saying, hey, we're not out of it yet. Well, Calgary is that exact team. This team is, if there is one team left to make noise, it's likely this Calgary team, although that's unlikely going to happen. They are 6 behind Minnesota, but they do have a game in hand. I got to believe that they're playing for their season right now. They're minus 150 against Anaheim, a total of 6. Even though Calgary is playing for their season, and this is what we call a must-win game, it's a must-win game because Calgary is not good enough to win games at, enough games to not have must-win games at this time of the year. I gotta outright pass this one, brother. I mean, it's one of those things where I think if Minnesota is winning, and I don't know what the emotional makeup of Calgary is going to be. This seems like a stay away game for me. Where are you going?
I'm not betting the game. I think Calgary finds a way. Anaheim's one of those sneaky teams. The Mason McTavishes, the Zegerases.
Yeah.
They're young kids playing with house money. Listen, they're not expecting to make the playoffs. Right now, they'll trade chances with you, and they can bury. They got some good offensive talent on that team. I'm not betting the game, but I do like the under in this game. I think it's tighter than people think. I think Calgary doesn't take many chances against Anaheim. I think this is a 3-2 game all over it.
Yeah, and look, Anaheim 29-43-5 to the under. Calgary 29-47-1 to the under. I'm super surprised that there is a 6 on tap. So that is a good catch, Matthew. I think the under is the right play if you have to bet this game. And look, and Anaheim and Edmonton went under. That was a 6.5. Speaking of Edmonton, any word on when these 2 guys are coming back? Because I'll tell you what, brother, Playing against St. Louis is the right way to attack hockey betting right now. We have seen the story play out a million times. A team goes on an 8, 10, 12 game win streak. They lose one, they lose the next two. Edmonton is minus 150 here. The injury report is so bad, Matthew, for this Edmonton team. I want to bet against St. Louis in the spot. I really do. But we got no Skinner, no Ekholm, no Frederick, no Draisaitl, no McDavid, no Kane, no Barnaby. This is an under for me, Matthew. There's no other way I could bet this game. The number is 5.5. I think we see a 3-1, 3-2 hockey game. I'll take the under.
Yeah, and Broberg and Dylan Holloway, who's not playing, he's on the injury report today. Two great offer sheets. I think we'll see more offer sheets in the future going from Edmonton to St. Louis. Both guys having tremendous years for the St. Louis Blues. I'm on the Blues here and the under. Listen, I can't take Edmonton with those numbers, without those guys in the lineup. Yep. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yep. I mean, you're asinine if you're laying that with those guys out there. To me, this is a St. Louis game. They've played well. Yes, usually when you have a long winning streak and then you lose one, usually I don't want to see a tailspin, but it's hard to recover it right away. So I think the leadership in that locker room gets them going. They take full advantage of a depleted lineup with the Edmonton Oilers. I like the under as well, and I like the St. Louis Blues.
Matthew Barnaby, Lawrence Presman, you're watching the Blue Line. Guys, hit that like button. Write a review. Write a comment. We need this. It is how these shows on social media get viewed. I mean, there's algorithms that say, what is the engagement? If you guys, they look at stuff like, when do people log out? Do they only listen to the first 5 minutes? Do they listen to the whole show? Do they like the show? Do they comment on the show? Are they engaged in the show? If YouTube and Spotify and all of these social media streaming outlets see engagement and see love, they will then recommend us to other people and we will be able to build the show. So we do need you guys for that. Also, we've got a ton of content on the WagerTalk network. We have another hockey show called Puck Time. It's outstanding. Carmine and Andrew are involved in that. We have a show called WagerTalk Today. I host that every day at noon Eastern. We talk every single sport. On today's WagerTalk show, we're going to do a deep, deep dive into the Masters, and that's where we're going to start right now. Andy Lang joining us. And Andy, before we get into your prop bets, sorry to put you on the spot. You have a great Masters bet for our audience?
Fade Dustin Johnson. There's your bet. Dustin Johnson has completely lost the will to compete on a professional level. I'm sorry. Physically, he's not the same. He's put on weight. He openly says, I don't practice like I used to. This guy's a former winner, but when he won the Masters, that was in fall. This is in spring. So he's missed the cut. He's finished 48th in the last two times he's played the Masters. The guy isn't making the top 20 on the Live Tour. So on DK, you can fade Dustin Johnson with Sepp Straka. I love that one. On the other books, you can fade him with Billy Horschel. You're just fading these Live guys that have kind of lost the will to compete. I just don't believe that you're going to walk off the Live Tour and walk onto Augusta on one of the toughest courses and compete at the highest level. So Dustin Johnson, absolute fade for us.
There we go. Andy Lang joining us, everyone. One of the greatest prop bettors on the planet. He's the host of a golf show over at WagerTalk called Tea Time. Check that out. Andy, what are your prop bets on tonight's NHL card?
Sometimes you just keep it simple and you only need one bet to turn a profit, and that's all I'm doing. And Matt, you and I are getting to know each other and betting, and what do we say? Let's ride these streaks. We talked about Rasmus Anderson last time. Let's ride him again. We're going over 1.5 shots on goal. No, let's not overthink this. Over in 9 straight games, 5.7 shot attempts per game in the last 10 games, 2.6 shots on goal. And does he get a good matchup tonight? Oh my God, he gets the best matchup ever. The Ducks, worst team in allowing shots on goal. They allow 32 shots on goal per game. Anderson has gone over in 3 straight against Anaheim. Let's not get too cute today. Just take Rasmus Anderson over his shots on goal prop.
Well, freaking done. Andy Lang, everyone. Thanks for doing this. We'll see you tomorrow. Matt, what's your prop bets for tonight?
First of all, I follow Andy a lot now. I jump on the train. He's a great prop better. Further to his analogy on the Masters, I'm with him with DJ. He's terrible. I mean, he is absolutely terrible. He can't get out of his own way, and it doesn't even look like it bothers him. I guess with 200 schmil in the bank, it probably wouldn't bother me. He can jump and go fishing in a South Carolina boat. But look, if you're betting the Masters, take a guy in the top 10. I think there's been one person win the Masters in the last century that isn't a top 10 player in the world. It's made for the best players in the world. And if you're not in the top 10 on the leaderboard after day one, you don't win. You have zero chance of winning, essentially. I'm going with his analogy, though. Matthew Nyes, back-to-back, 5 of the last 6. He has had over a shot and a half per game. He's had 6, 3, 3, 2, 1, and 4 playing Tampa Bay again tonight. Matthew Nyes over 1.5 shots.
There we go. Matthew Barnaby's prop bets, Andy Lang's prop bets, and that, my friend, is the show. Matthew, thanks for doing this every day with me, brother. So appreciated. Still a thrill. Andy Lang, appreciate you, dude. You know how I feel about you. Guys out there, enjoy the games tonight. Don't bet more than you can afford to lose, please. Other than that, we'll see you all tomorrow. Let's keep winning.